is this is one of those fights where it's really somewhat of a 50-50 fight for multiple reasons. Now, I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live. As you know, December the 10th, 2016, we have a crazy week of boxing where you got, the fight I'm going to talk about in this video. You have Jermall Charlo, the IBF 154-pound champion. He's 24-0 with 18 KOs versus Julian J-Rock Williams. This is going to be, he's 22, 0-1 with 14 KOs. He's going to be on the undercard of Abner Mares versus Jesus Cuellar. Then you have fights like Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. versus Dominic British. You have Joseph Parker versus Andy Ruiz for the WBO heavyweight title. You have Anthony Joshua versus Eric Molina. Luis Ortiz versus David Allen. Maybe White versus Chisora if it's not called off. The return of Scott Quigg. David and Peralta. It's just the list goes on. Crawford Molina. So it's going to be a very, very busy day. But one of the more intriguing fights of the day is going to be Jermall Charlo versus Julian Williams. Now, there's two brothers, twin brother Charlos. There's Jermall Charlo, who's the WBC champion, who had problems in his last fight against John Jackson or John Thompson. I'm sorry, I always get them two guys mixed up. He had some issues. However, in my personal opinion, Jermall Charlo is the better of the Charlo brothers. He is the more pressure-fighting power puncher. That's just the best way I can describe him, to where Jermall Charlo is more of the boxer. Jermall Charlo has the better resume, but Julian Williams doesn't really have anything on his resume. For example, Jermall Charlo was fought Austin Trout, Wilkie Canfield, Cornelius Bundrage, where he won the title, Hector Munoz, and going down the list. It's really not much there, but technically, if you look at Julian Williams' record, it's looking at it, you may know the name Joey Hernandez, Hugo and Centeno, Joaquim Alcine, but realistically, there's nothing there. So that's why this is a fight where, with Julian Williams, we're really going to find out who he is, and I'm going with him because I have to support him, because he's from Philly, but also I have to really be careful because Jermall Charlo ain't no joke. Now, I understand that you may say, oh, well, these guys ain't been fighting nobody of real note, and they won't fight Canelo or Demetrius Andrade or whatever the case may be. Well, listen, this is a fight where we're going to find out these are two young fighters, one champion, one contender, and they're at really, you can't say the prime, but they're at right there. It's like one of you is going to lose, and one of you is going to have to be built back up, and who's going to be great? One of these fighters is going to be great. So you have to really think about, okay, we know Julian Williams has the skills, just like Gary Russell had the skills. But when he stepped up to another level and he fought Vasil Lomachenko, I'm not comparing these fighters to them. I'm comparing their situation. We saw that he wasn't as good as Lomachenko. So we've seen Jermall Charlo in notable fights. Not great fights, but realistically, we've seen Julian Williams against, nobody of note. But it's a 50-50 fight, It's a 50-50 fight. So we know, from knowing Jermall Charlo, we know that how many knockouts does he have? Now, of course, J-Rock has been knocking out his last several opponents. He went the distance with Austin Trout. He got 2 knockouts before that. So basically, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 5 of 7 have been by either KO or stoppage. And that's just the last 7. So he's coming out there to lay hands on you. Julian Williams, yes, but the level of competition has been lower. So I'm going with J-Rock because, we need to support Philly fighters, especially somebody from Philly. But that's not saying that I'm picking him because he's from Philly, even though I kind of contradicted myself earlier in the video. I just think it's a 50-50 fight, and you got to pick a side, You got to pick a side. But do not sleep on Jermall Charlo. Don't sleep on him. So it's going to be interesting if Julian Williams wins. Should he go after the Charlo, Jermall Charlo, who's supposed to be, or should he be fighting Charles Hatley next? Should he go after him? You know? Or what about Erislandy Lara? You know? Also, I'm kind of upset that Julian Williams didn't have a media event of any sort in Philly, unless I missed it, but I've been really checking for it. You know, so I'm thinking like, well, you know, what's up with that? This is a championship fight, bro. So that makes me think, well, if you win the title, will you have some type of like the parade or something here? Something. I'm not saying like a parade or something, you know? But anyway, TstreeT Controversy, this is wait, yeah, he could be in a Christmas parade if you win, you know? Holla at them. But this is TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live. All the links to my social media are right down below in the description box. Please subscribe.